Good evening and welcome to Kansas Smitties. It's Saturday night and we're still going. How you feeling, Kit?
Pretty bloody good.
Yeah. How you feeling, G? How you doing, Will?
Yeah, I'm great.
Yeah, so Will has had a really good night's sleep, which is great because myself, Kit and Giacomo were at Maida Vale until about 2 a.m. last night. Was 2. And you can still check out that show, which we're all still reeling from, on BBC Sounds now. It was an incredible night. We're very, very lucky to have been able to deliver that show. Cool. Also, if you go and listen to it, you can hear a kind of some of the music that you're also going to hear tonight in a different setting. Really excited to be able to share it with you, and I hope you enjoyed the show.
That's the Swamp People. Come to get us again. I gotta have a deep breath after that. Yeah. We hope you're enjoying the music tonight. We certainly are. It's a really special night to be joined by Kit Downs and Will Sach. And we're playing the music of Jimmy Giuffre's varied groups of three. I think that was his magic number. He always had three people in his band, and he had all sorts of different trios. Sometimes he would have, clarinet and bass and piano. Sometimes he'd had clarinet, bass, and guitar. Sometimes he had miscellaneous flutes and drums and bass, and he did some very interesting combinations. All of them very kind of introspective and not yelly, for being very free music. He was, he always made you think rather than made you angry, I think. And Kit, this album is an interesting one from the perspective of the main album that we're looking at, which is these two that were recorded in 1961, Fusion and Thesis, are particular because of the involvement of a certain composer. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, right. So the sound of the trio with Steve Swallow and Paul Bley, which is the records that you just talked about on ECM, there's a good collection called 61, owe a heavy debt to the composer of most of the tunes on that record, which is Carla Bley, who's now very famous for having written for all sorts of ensembles and written a lot for Charlie Hayden and for her own big band and for Steve Swallow's things. But back then, she was just like on the scene, hanging with lots of really cool people, great musician herself, obviously, and writing tunes for people to play. And she'd written for Paul Bley's trio with Pete LaRocca and Steve Swallow again, I think. Which is maybe how this came about with Jimmy Giuffre, I don't know that. But they had a trio session which is called Footloose, which played a load of Carla Bley tunes, some things called King Corn, and Ictus is on there, and some other things I can't remember now. Floater is one of the tunes.
Right. It's funny how, it's great how the tune titles range from kind of seriousness into kind of kitsch American to fun, and she has a tune called Lawns, which I think is, and then you have,
Jesus Maria.
Yeah.
It's the whole spectrum.
The whole spectrum. Do you, when you're kind of, you were telling me something about, the way that she composes voicings, and that her, her music is up on her website, so you had looked at some of it. Do you see any similarities with other composers, or is there anything that you...
She inhabits that kind of peculiar, not very well described up to this point role of jazz composer, as well as being a player herself, obviously, but particularly because she was writing whole albums worth of material for other people to play, like this one that we're playing. And that's a very difficult role to inhabit because of how much you put on the page or not, and a lot of the time you're writing for particular improvisers, but in the way she writes, sometimes it's not. It's just a lead sheet kind of thing. And she was into that as well, just having very immediately... I think she was into that, I don't know that, but from the way it's presented, it's very immediate and very easy to just get in and make yourself at home and come up with your own ideas and stuff. But at the same time, then you get things like Jesus Maria and some of the other tunes that we're playing that have very specific piano voicing stuff. A lot about sixths, compound sixths are everywhere, right, in this music. And a lot of parallel voicings and things, really piano stuff in a way. And they're very specific. So you get some tunes like Ictus, which is it's like based around a rhythm changes thing. But then also you get a tune that we're not going to play today, but another one that's completely through written, basically.
Right.
It's like if you were to score that out, it'd be like 20 pages. You could bind that up for a proper classical kind of
Peter's edition.
Yeah, exactly. But the way they did it, I think, is probably very shorthand and like a little loop of 8 bars 16 times or something like that,
Yeah. I think the one of the kind of, if people haven't heard this group's music, it's a really interesting bridge between kind of free jazz playing and this kind of, basically if people couldn't categorize something that was, categorize something that was composed by, like you said, that weird role of what is a jazz composer, because Neil Hefti is as much a jazz composer as Carla Bley, but totally different role. You know, this would have been called third stream music, which in a way it is, but it really isn't. I mean, it's much more in the jazz vein. And I think what they accomplish and what we're trying to dig into tonight is how to play freely without kind of just screaming over one another. And so if you ever get a chance to put on this album, you'll hear these compositions by Carla Bley that have these kinds of almost naive melodies, and then some of them are more involved than that. And then this really free, improvised texture that is really hard to emulate, but really easy to listen to. So.
Yeah, in a way, she like created the sound of the band without having ever played one note in it. Like the way they play together is so off of the music, but you couldn't write that down. That's what I mean by the enigma of a jazz composer, is you couldn't score that. You couldn't give anyone instructions other than Steve Swallow, Paul Bley, and Jimmy Giuffre to make that kind of noise together.
Yeah. Well, let's continue on with, should we do Scootin' About?
Scootin'.
This is a Carla Bley composition, Scootin' About. So what we do? One head, then blowing, and then little phrase in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, play the first key.
Wow. Like, often we try to like deliberately not use superlatives to describe the music because, you know, everyone's amazing or everyone's the best, and, you know, you just like sound like a Facebook post. But the only word I can think of that describes this music, and I've listened to Giacomo and Kit play this and will play this a few times now in different settings, it's like, it's kind of esoteric. It's like not quite folk, and it's not quite jazz, and it's not quite blues, and it's not, but it's got this like grunt, but it's also this weird floaty thing. It's mad. I can't describe it. So, cool. Well, put that in a Facebook post. Thank you for joining us. I won't take up too much time because we want to make this more about music, but I do want to say thank you to a few people. Biscuits, if you're listening, well done. Andrew Han, Danny Juniper, the man who tunes our pianos and makes old Winky sound amazing. Daniel, you're a hero. Sas Huri, Giacomo's mate. Monica H, Lee Sach. Who's that guy? It's your dad. Hey, Papa Sach. Pam White, Dennis Messenger, Brendan, Stephen Connolly, Andy Tate, Barbara Burke. Yeah, Barbara. Different Evans, Richard Morris, and Peter Flavel. Thank you all very much for signing up to the Patreon in the last week. You can do it too. That's the great thing about it. If you're listening here, check out the words in the box beneath this box, and then you can join in the fun and see what's happening there. Yeah, let's get back to the show.
we play? Let's play. We have another one, don't we? has Kit Downs on the piano, Will Sach on the bass. My name's Giacomo Smith. Thank you so much for tuning in to Kansas Middies tonight. I can definitely say that is a very emotional hour, and we hope you've enjoyed it as well. And thank you, Kit, and thank you, Will, for getting into this music. It's a very rare treat to find people who know the music of Jimmy Giuffre. Do you want to come on?
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Come talk to me.
Hey, bro.
Hey.
Hey, we're standing. Come on, keep up, Ollie. Now she's pointing at me saying, "Get into the light." Wow. Should we?
Go there.
Yeah. Wow. Great. See, this is the magic of live TV, right? Cool. It's been an incredible week for us musically. So thank you all very much for your support. It's been no surprise, actually, just looking at some of the numbers, that this week represents some of the biggest figures we've ever had in terms of people watching the show and people donating. And if you think of money as just a kind of form of energy exchange, and time as a form of energy exchange, then thank you for giving that to us. And we'll just continue to try to give back what we can to you guys too, for as long as possible. So hope you had a good week, the best one you can have, and we'll see you again on Tuesday.
Can I just quickly shout out next week? Hi. Next week we have some amazing album playbacks again, and you've probably heard me say this before if you've seen our broadcast, but the album playback model is not one that we ever thought we'd do at Kansas Middies, because musicians are alive and creating now, not to take anything away from what was made 40, 30, 50, 60, 70 years ago. But actually, digging back into these albums has given us a new way to bond together as musicians, because we find a commonality in the inspiration from these records. So it's actually much more exciting than we ever thought. Next week, we have Money Jungle from Duke Ellington and Charles Mingus and Max Roach, which, if you know the story of that album, there's a lot of tension in that room, and you're going to get some tension on it, aren't you? Will Sach is doing that one. And then the next one that we're doing next week is Sunny Side Up, which is the showdown between Sonny Stitt and Sonny Rollins. Now, if you know the story of that, Dizzy Gillespie was always kind of a prankster, so he was calling them up the week before the session saying, "Man, did you hear what Sonny was saying about you? He said you can't play." And then he would call the next guy and he would say, yeah, I talked to him on the phone. He said you don't stand. So anyway, that's what we have in store. So check all that out. Do what Jack said. We'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you so much for tuning in.